What do I mean? Don't yuck my yum? Well, in a recent conversation over in the chat area of mygrowthrings.com, somebody was talking about how much they love their universal bar clamp from the Dubuque Clamp Company. And I just couldn't help myself, because it's my site, to say how much I disliked this clamp. But I tried to keep it soft pedaled by saying, wow, I'm just not a fan. And they pressed me. So I thought, well, let's go ahead. We'll talk about this now. I know this is hugely popular all over YouTube, but I have some issues with it. That said, my favorite clamp up here, I have some problems with it too. So let's get into it. I'm not using nearly as many bar clamps as I once did. And I got to thinking about why that might be. And I realized it's because I'm using a lot more fasteners and connectors to join cabinet components together. Things like comfort mats, things like cam and bolt type connectors, even the lamello Clamex fitting, using a bit of those. And as a result, basically every single joint has its own built-in clamp when you're using connectors like that. So I'm not reaching for bar clamps nearly as much as I once did. But when I did, my go-to clamp was this one. Yeah, the old Jorgensen aluminum bar clamp was and still is my absolute favorite. The problem with this clamp today is they're no longer manufactured. And so what we're left with is either the universal clamp from Dubuque or the myriad of Chinese knockoffs of the old Jorgensen. Now, these are not equivalent to each other, but if this is what we have available to us, there are ways of making modifications to these. I'll link to several videos. What's funny is every time I see one of these videos pop up or someone showing how they've modified this particular clamp, this one came from Harbor Freight, the comments are, oh, you got that from this guy. Well, if you go to those videos, oh, you got that from this guy, most of them are crediting Paul Sellers with this idea. There's videos on YouTube that predate Paul. And back in the 1980s, I knew a couple engineers that used to come to some weekly classes that I taught who made many of those same modifications. For example, filling in this void inside of this U-shaped extrusion helps to make these much more rigid. And just cut a piece of wood and you don't even have to glue it in place if you don't want to. And that will improve these clamps vastly. But what don't I like about this one and this one? This on the other extreme. I bought about 10 of these a number of years back thinking, that boy, I'm really going to use the heck out of these. These are just beasts of clamps, these I-beam body clamps. Bessie now makes a pretty faithful reproduction of this one that was made by Jorgensen. Yeah, you can put so much clamp or so much pressure on a joint, you won't have any glue left over. But as you can see, there's an interesting out of squareness to the jaws. And this is designed so that when you're putting together a carcass or a box, if this is the bottom, you're clamping in and it's pulling the sides in slightly. And from the other end, you're pulling the sides in slightly. Together, you end up with a square box. These have been relegated mostly to gluing up things for, let's say, cutting boards or turning blanks. I have a variety of clamps back here. I'm not going to show them all, at least not in this video. In fact, I love hand screw clamps. And I'll tell you, my favorite hand screw clamps were made by the Dubuque Clamp Company. This one right here was private labeled for Shopsmith. And if you buy these in stores where they're not private labeled, they will say Micro Moose. That is their house brand. These are excellent. Some of the best hand screw clamps ever. Some of the worst hand screw clamps you'll ever buy are just generic Chinese hand screw clamps. This one has got a knot. It's got cracks and voids. And it could have anybody's brand on there, but this brand happens to say Rockler. And there's a lot of other little considerations that were not taken into account here that they did pay attention to on the Dubuque clamp. Maybe if we get some comments here, I'll do a follow-up and I'll explain what I like about the hand screw clamps from Dubuque. But let's take a look at this bar clamp. Now, if it looks like I just went out and purchased these two clamps, it's because I just went out and purchased these two clamps. I actually went into the Klingspor store in Winston-Salem, And the sales rep said, what, just one clamp? What kind of job takes just one clamp? And I said, well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to use this in a video to talk bad about it. But okay, just at a quick glance, what is the difference between these two right here? So the first order of business to take a look at is notice that this jaw right here wraps around the body, where this one is just straddling the body. Now, I've had some occasions where applying pressure, especially on a taller piece, would put pressure here, cause this entire piece to rack, and I've had 6 of them that have failed right here, where that rivet has pulled right through the side of that aluminum extrusion. Not a good prize. You can see on the Jorgensen, they're riveted a bit further up and in, and here on the Chinese knockoff, in a slightly different position again. Now, part of what makes this function is it's got a beefy casting that goes up into this body. So as we're pushing here, we're getting not just backward pressure, but there's a little bit of torsion, which that casting then pushes tight against the interior of that bar. That works great. In fact, let me show you. I've got a Jorgensen one here. I've kept it around even though I wrote on it years ago, defective, that you can see has begun to split here. But even worse, I actually broke off that casting at a point that isn't where the rivet is. So that's where I really got to studying these to see exactly where is the pressure being applied. And you put enough pressure here and it causes this to rotate. You can see how it's even flaring out a little bit right here and cause it to snap. Another way that we can get a little too aggressive on these is you can see even bending the little handle on there. Yeah, sometimes I don't know my own strength. At least I used to not know my own strength. Stand these up and take a look at the details. One of the things that you'll see is that the universal clamp has much tighter spacing on these detents. When we're moving this jaw, you can see we pinch here and slide the jaw, and then it ends up locking into a detent. The Jorgensen, not quite as much adjustability, if you will, but still plenty of adjustment that can be accommodated by the threads. This Chinese one, you can see, has very, very light indentations, and I suspect that applying enough pressure, these will begin to dig in. I don't know how much of a failure concern that is, because if they dig in deeper, they're going to wind up being just like these two. If you reinforce this with a wooden block, just understand that that wooden piece has got to come short of the inside of those little detents, and you can expect that to dig in a little bit over time. I just took these out of storage, and man, do they need some TLC. All 3 of these feature an Acme thread, and that thread allows us to get very aggressive without damaging or stripping this casting. This one has got a little bit tighter thread, or where this is coarser, so this is going to travel slower. I mean, what else do we have to do? All right, here you can see one of the advantages of this style of clamp. Because these handles slide, I can make them clear one another when I'm in a situation where I'm up really, really close. Now, if I had more than one of these to show you, you would see that this handle would run into the adjacent handle. So there's no way to tighten these when you get into a real close clamping scenario. There's also those situations where you are clamping close to the floor or close to a workbench, where here you can see I can just slide the handle over, tons of clearance. This one, that handle, I can, at this point, I can no longer tighten it or remove it because of where it's located. I would have to lift it up off the floor or the workbench in order to get it to clear. To me, that gives a big advantage of the Jorgensens. Now, one possible solution for this, too close scenario with this style of clamp is to make sure that when you're clamping these, that they are clamping vertically, giving you as much clearance as you can possibly get here. At that point, this one's tight. That's going to interfere with the next one. So what I may have to do is back this off a tad and move this back jaw in or out a little bit in hopes that when we're tight, we end up in a position where it's not going to be in the way. So here's where I land. As much as I enjoy aluminum bar clamps, I will either be purchasing more of these from Harbor Freight and making a modification to them, or, as long as you don't beat me to it, scouring Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for the Jorgensen aluminum bar clamps. I really like those. That's going to be my go-to. I have a dozen of them. I think I want more since I can't get them. There's many, many more clamps that we might use in the shop, and maybe we'll get around to those in the future. In the meantime, make it a great day.